Here we go. Good. Okay, so now let's do this. So if we put that data in, right, we're going to get, so capital N we said was 72, 12 times 6. I is 9. PV is what we're looking for. PMT is minus 300, right, because we're making payments, so that's negative. FV is 0, as we said. These are both equal to 12. So now we solve for PV. Okay. As you can see, this is what I was talking about before, right? When we didn't click on it, it looks like 0.0, but there's something after it, 0.05. So this one is a little bit different than before, because the other one was 0.04, this is 0.05. So I'm guessing the difference is due to round-off error, but that's okay. I mean, on an exam, if you're using the formula and you have 0.04, that's fine. So we're off by a penny, so to say. That's all right. So we have all this in here. Now let's get back to the notes. Okay, so let's get back to the notes now, okay? Okay, so this is what we get. Again, it was a little bit off from here. You know, I'm guessing this is because of round-off error. That's why this difference occurs. But again, if you use the formula and you get this amount, you know, you can use this. But if your TVM gives you this, you know, either if you're using the TVM to solve this problem and you get this number, you know, that's fine. So I'm using this with the formula. Okay. So the most expensive car we can afford, let's just say we did this with the formula now, okay? What we can afford is this, a car that costs this amount. So the most expensive car we can afford is this amount. In other words, this is the biggest loan we can get. Okay, so remember, question 2 was, how much is she paying the loan company, right? How much total money is she going to pay the loan company, this new loan company that is, and how much of that money is interest? Okay, well, for the loan company, it's $300 per month, right? But again, that's per month. This is going on for 6 years. So $300 a month, right? And there are 12 months per year, right? And this is for 6 years. So what do? Multiply. Multiply. We get 300 times 12 times 6, which is $21,600. Now, how much of that money is interest, though? Well, again, anything above the loan amount that we're paying is interest. You know, that's how loans work. So this is how much we're sending. This is how much. This is the loan balance. Anything beyond the loan balance is interest. So we subtract, and this is how much interest we pay. Okay, so that's what we get here. Okay, good. Are there any questions on this? Okay. So I just want to go through how to find these quartiles. I figured it'd be good to review that as well. Okay. So we're gonna so remember, if you have a collection of data, right? Let's say there are n data values. You get the quartiles Q1. What you want to do first is sort the data from smallest to largest. That's what you do first. You know, you can use Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel to do that. You're going to compute this locator, 0.25 times n. Now, if you get a decimal, okay, no matter what that decimal is, you're always going to round up to the next whole number. So if you somehow got 5.2, you would still round up to 6. for instance, even though by rounding rules you would round down, but here you're always going to round up. That's what this is telling us. And then you're going to use the data value in this position. Excuse me. Now, if L happens to be a whole number, okay, then you have to find the mean, which is the average of the data values in the L and L plus 1 position. So if L turned out to be, let's say, I don't know, 4, you would get the data values in the 4th and 5th position, again, sorting from smallest to biggest. The smallest data value would be 1, would be the first position. So you would get the data in the 4th and 5th position, and you get their average, which is the mean. For Q3, it's the same calculation. The only difference is that here, you have 0.75 times N. That's what we have instead. And for the median, you can actually do this. L would be 0.50. All right. So let's say we had this data here. We're going to get the 5-number summary. Remember, the 5-number summary, it's the smallest data value, the minimum. You have the 3 quartiles, then the maximum data value. Here I'm just reminding you how you could sort the data, but you actually end up getting this when you sort it. And the form of box plot, you can make a box plot as well. You know, you can use Desmos for that. I mean, you could draw it by hand, but you don't have to. Okay, so for the 5-number summary, we have the minimum, which is 1. The maximum is 20. But N is 18, right? Okay, so what would L be? Well, for Q1, L is 0.25 times 18. Okay, and that turns out to be 4.5. Now that's a decimal, right? So what do? You round up to 5, and you use the data value in the 5th position. The 5th data value, that is, which actually turns out to be 5. You know, here's data value 1, data value 2, 3, 4, 5. For Q2, the median, the only difference is that L is 0.5 times N. 0.5 times 18 is not. This is a whole number. So what do? We use the data value, the 9th and the 10th data value, which happen to be 10 and 11. And what do? We add them. You know, we take their average. So we add and divide by 2. We get 10.5. And for Q3, L is 0.75 times 18, which turns out to be 13.5. So you round up to 14. You use the 14th data value, and you end up getting 16. So the 5-number summaries are these. You know, you can it's possible that Q1, Q2, or Q3 are not in the data set themselves. In this case, the median is not. That can happen. All right. And then, of course, you can make a box plot in Desmos. This is what you would get. All right. We're out of time, so I got to stop.